first got out here, like what it was like for you, and kind of like, because I'm assuming Skid Row's changed so much since you first got out here, right?
Other than the part that I missed from being in jail, it was like stepping into another dimension compared to when I first got out of here. When I first got out here, it was all kind of, restaurants, movie theaters, and, parks, and there was a lot of things to do, and interesting things too, because, whether you was out here, using drugs, selling drugs, working every day, you could, get a place to stay, and didn't have to go through, paperwork to have a place to stay. I mean, downtown is almost pretty much become non-existent to where you can just go to a hotel and just pay for a room, because they've turned all of them into SROs and Section 8s, and it took an effect on a lot of the homeless people out here now, because back then being homeless wasn't a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you could always, get a room for a week or whatever, go clean yourself up and, you know what I'm saying? And like come out and play for 3 weeks, but you can't do that now. So, and this is why you see a lot more people like, more dirty and stuff like that. They don't get me wrong, they got places now to where you can, you can go and take a shower and stuff, and they give you underwear, socks, and stuff like that. Little grooming things, stuff. And back then, it giving somebody something, it was no need really, because the mission's always been there. You can always go and get a meal. You know what I mean? But the other necessities and stuff, you always had people that would come by and, you know, drop off things and give to the homeless and stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't think no one foresaw it to become this bad. And now with the epidemic going around, it's I'm starting to see the coroner more and more every day out here from the COVID, and then you add in just the people that just tired of living, have no other reason to live and they just give up, man. And I'm seeing that too, but it's more so that COVID is starting to hit downtown, and it really hasn't affected downtown that much. I don't know if it's from being out in this environment and your immune system is a lot tougher, you know, and more used to dealing with, you know, diseases and things like that. You know what I mean? Because in different environments, your immune system has to be stronger, and then you become a time where it's just like an emergency type thing. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, your immune system can become dormant. It's just there, just waiting for something to happen so it can, activate itself. Believe it or not. But being out here that long, man, it's unbelievable how things have become. Like myself, like I said, it's like, man, it doesn't even seem like it's been that long. But when I got out in 2012, from '84 to 2012, it's almost 30 years. I didn't even a tent. I didn't even go inside one, let alone, lay down or sleep or feel comfortable in one, you know? And when I got out in 2012, because I tell you, man, I went to jail in 99, January 99. The Staples Center was still gutted. They had beams around it. They didn't even have a roof, a wall. And when I got out in 2012, they had 5 championships already, you know? And And then when I got out and I seen what life was like out here, being downtown Los Angeles and not being able to just walk in a place and, you know, pay for a room for a month or something like that until you can get on your feet to get a place, a job or whatever. So I said, man, I started seeing all these tents and carrying on. they even start naming it like Tent City and stuff like that, man. You know? So I'm like, it's weird. It was weird to me to, that many people was just like, giving up on having responsibilities, like paying rent, going to work every day and stuff like that. But then you had some people out here that couldn't get a place, because they didn't have a birth certificate or they didn't have a third party to sign for it or something like that. And they just, they tried, and it just became a point where it's, accepted the situation they was in and just lived with it, because like I said, there's people right now out here that, want to get a place, have the means to, but because of some telecat, um, see, I be thinking so fast sometimes I can't even think of words sometimes, man, some kind of, hang up on some paperwork, they can't overcome that situation and they have no choice, because they have no family members and stuff like that, place, what I mean, where they can, or if they do have, it ain't big enough for the whole family, you know what I mean? And they have to live with that, man, and it's hard on people like that, that really don't want to be out here and done everything that they feel that they could do possibly, for themselves, and yet still they have to get up and go to work and maintain and take a chance on their, stuff coming up missing or, you know what I mean, or take a chance on somebody raping their wife or something, and it's hard, man, on people like that. But then you got like some people like they don't even want a tent. They rather just sleep on the sidewalk. They just done gave up. Just they have no purpose in life but to get high. That's their only purpose for living. Get high. And I heard somebody tell me that just last night because their old man just died. What was it? Thursday or Friday. And they've been together like 12, 13 years, and that was all she knew. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, the female that I introduced you to on the corner right there. Well, I told you her dude that left her and stuff like that, right? And right up there on 6th and Main, which is 2 blocks up the street, he was in the tent right there, couldn't eat nothing because he had cancer. So she said he didn't eat for like 3 days, But she stayed right there in that tent in the cold with him, as long as she could. You know what I mean? And trying to get him to eat and stuff like that, because she still loved and cared for him. You know what I mean? And when he went to the hospital, she wasn't there, because she has a SRO and that they used to share. And he couldn't even get up and go down there. So he finally went to the hospital and he passed at the hospital, and he didn't even call her and tell her. He called the little female that he was with up there, and it's devastating to someone like that, man, and she took 10 Valiums, man. She tried to kill herself. She said she woke up, she went in the room when she found out I was dead and took 10 Valiums. She said she had no purpose to live, and I did my best to, incline her that's an experience that you should take heed to and pay attention to, because no matter how much you try, no matter who try, how many times they try, that's the one thing that he didn't give us the power to do, and that's to take the last breath from another human being. You may commit the act that finally do it, but believe me, it wasn't you that did it. He has the last say on that. And everything else he gave us the ability to do on our own.